welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we're here to open your mind.
Living a good life, y'all. In a different lane now. Hey, come on. Hey, come on.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we are here to open your mind. This week is a week of getting to know us. I'm really excited. Yesterday was Money Monday. We got to know Telly Medina and Kenneth Barnes of KB Enterprises. Now today is Relationship Tuesday, so we're going to get to know this crew up close and intimately, get to know who they are, what they're doing, and exactly how they got to where they are and what's going on in their lives. Because, you know, you hear us on the radio and you get, you know, bits and pieces of us, but do you really know us? So this is the week where, you know, we're going to open our minds to living differently in the world. And we have two very special guests today, and I'm really very excited about them. And hopefully, no, don't tell them to be quiet. I want them to talk. Good morning. Say hi. Hi.
Hi.
Good morning. Say good morning, listeners. What's up?
Hi, Dad.
We have two special guests this morning. We have twins. We have 3-year-old twins. We have Henry and Ashton. These are Henry's two oldest, I should say, because he just had a younger little boy, Hunter. So he's a father of 3.
That's correct. Say good morning. Say good morning.
Good morning.
Say good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
And if you follow Henry on Instagram, you know he is a proud father of these two NBA-bound basketball stars, because they drive their little Audis that they got for Christmas, and they be balling with their 2-foot goal. They be like hitting it. Yeah. So, Henry, obviously we know you're a proud father, but how much does it mean to you to be a father?
It means everything. I really live for them. I didn't understand when people used to say that before I had kids. I couldn't understand, you know, how you could feel that way. But once I had kids on my own, it really put things in perspective, and it made me realize that I need to set a good example and be the best role model I could possibly be. And they just a ball of fun. I mean, I don't know how guys don't want to be in their kids' lives. It's crazy to me. I mean, they everything, yeah.
Many use.
Yep.
What is the best part of being a father thus far? No, he can take the mic from you. I'd rather talk to him. Hi, Henry.
He can't answer that question, though.
Right, okay, you're right.
Why will we? Of you?
Go ahead. You want to answer? You could talk much better than that. All right, what's the question again?
I forgot. I was interviewing Henry the Fourth.
Oh.
Henry, is Daddy fun?
Yeah.
Ashton, is Daddy fun?
He's in his own world.
He wants to ring the first time bell. What has been the best part about being a father thus far?
Giving them.
Oh, he's hugging you.
Yep, giving them a better life than I had. And I had a good life. So I'm trying to make theirs spectacular. I want it to be, you know, when they're older, I want to be bragged on. I want my kids to say, you know what, I had the best dad that ever lived. And, you know, I want them to be the same type of father for their kids, you know, when they get older. You know, I'm trying to leave a legacy right here.
Right.
Yeah.
And speaking of legacies, you do that in more ways than just being a father, but we watch them help you with the dogs.
Oh, yeah, they help with everything. Yeah, they help with the dogs.
We watch you.
So wait,
if somebody wants to follow you, if y'all they are the cutest twins by far. So if somebody wants to follow you on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, or any of that, and get to know the twins, as well as Ashley and Hunter, because they're on the other side of the studio as well. Y'all, it's a family affair here in the Good Life Radio Show. How can we follow you?
My Instagram is at Bullblood Henry, all one word. And Facebook is Henry Jolly. And my Twitter is at Bullblood Nation.
Bullblood Nation, explain that to us.
What
is Bullblood?
Bull Blood is the name of my bloodline. I've been breeding American bullies for the past 16 years. I started out with the traditional pit bulls for maybe the first 3 to 4 years, but I wound up crossing over to a different breed, and it's basically an evolution of a pit bull. You know, it's more like a.
But it's not.
But it's not a pit bull, right? It's more like an English bulldog type of.
Yes, it's like an English
thing,
bulldog
yeah.
pit bull mix, but they're not like they don't have the temperament of the pit bull, do they?
They have it's like a combination. You know, it's like they're
like protective, but
they're house dogs. They're laid back. You know, they're very family oriented. A ball of fun, a ball of energy. So, they're cool dogs. Check them out. The website is www.bullbloodline.com. And I always get people asking me, we were on the lakefront over the weekend, and people always asking me, what do I do for a living? Because, they see, nice cars or whatever. But I explain to them, I breed dogs. That's what I do. I counsel too, but thank you. All right.
You're a jack of two trades.
Is that the end of my session? He just rang the bell on. But yeah, my number one business and number one source of income is my dogs.
And you started your business pretty early in life. You were a young entrepreneur.
I was 18, right out of high school. Got my first part-time job working at Kids Foot Locker, and I was making $5.25 an hour. And I realized that was not adding up and not working out. And so I got my first 2 dogs as just pets. I wasn't thinking about, anything other than that. I just wanted pets. And then when I mated them for the first time, I had 10 puppies, and I sold them for $500 a piece in the newspaper, and I made $5,000.
You were like...
So I started doing the math. I said, man, all right. I'm like, it's going to take me. It's going to take me. A year or so to make $5,000 working at the rate I was working, because it wasn't much money.
Right.
So once I realized that, I got with my dad, and I was living at home still, and I told my dad, I said, look, let me get some more dogs. And I believe I can really turn this into a big deal. And so he said, well, I don't like that idea. I don't want you with all these dogs at my house. So I said, well, look, what if I give you 8% of whatever I make? He's like, all right, let's do it.
Look, it's a whole new world.
He said,
he opened his mind, huh?
Right, he opened his mind, yep, and he opened his heart and his home.
Right.
So once we agreed on that, he said, look, make sure you cut the grass. I don't have to go in the yard, and I don't want
to step in anything.
Yeah, I don't want to step in nothing. I want to, make sure you keep the yard nice and tidy. We can go ahead and go forward. So he allowed me to do that. But I kept my part-time job for a little bit. And, I stacked my money, and I kept investing in my dogs. I bought...
Oh, investing in yourself. Imagine that.
Yeah, of course. You have to. Anytime you're trying to, promote a brand or start a brand or start a business, you have to invest in yourself. So I kept my part-time job for a little bit. Kept investing my money and getting better dogs, and my friends used to make fun of me because I wouldn't buy like new shoes, and I wouldn't go out to clubs and none of that. They're like, man, you live kind of like a old dude, but you're 18, 19 years old. I said, look, it's gonna pay off later. I'm all right. And but I still had my fun. I just wasn't into that stuff. So once I turned 22, I had saved up some money, had excellent credit, and I said, Dad, hey, I'm ready to move out. I'm gonna go get me a house. He thought I was joking. But 2 months later, I went and got a full bedroom house, and I turned that into like the Carter on what is it, New Jack City? Yeah. I turned it into the Carter, man. I had dogs everywhere. I had rooms in my house designated for puppies. I kept everything indoors for small puppies. I had a 2-car garage there. It was an operation I had going on over there. I did my thing.
And look how you've grown now, because you don't just, obviously, and y'all, his dogs aren't, your normal dogs. They are definitely unique and very I don't know the verb.
Exquisite.
Exquisite. I
Yeah,
guess.
exquisite, exotic.
Yeah, exotic. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
He has exotic dogs. So if you are, into dogs or anything, make sure you follow Henry. They're definitely exotic breeds, and it's not, a dog that you can get anywhere. They literally have people all over the country and the world that follow his bully. So make sure you do that. And then he doesn't just have that as well. If you are a dog lover and you need to board your pet, you're going here, there, and everywhere. He then opened he's branding himself. So he took it another step. So what do you have now that's in the East?
We started a pet boarding facility called Pet Lounge. It's in New Orleans East. It's right off Lake Forest and Bullard.
Mm-hmm.
And
behind that gas station, y'all.
Yeah, and basically, if people go out of town or they need somebody to watch their dog during the day while they're at work, they can come drop the dog off, and you can customize your kennel for them. If you want to bring some beds
Y'all,
and
he has
blankets.
TVs for
Yeah,
the
we got
dogs.
TVs for the dogs, Wi-Fi.
TVs for the dogs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring all my Rottweilers over there.
Yeah, we got the extra large kennels for those too. Yeah, and they all get yard time. It's a cool thing, really cool.
So if somebody wanted to follow you or they needed some information on Pet Lounge, how do they do that?
Pet Lounge, there's a website. It's www.petloungenola.com. Also, you can follow on Instagram. I believe it's at Pet Lounge Nola. Is
Yep.
it Nola too? Yeah, at Pet Lounge Nola.
And I will actually put all of our information throughout the course of the show on the Good Life Radio Show. So make sure you follow us there. If you missed anything or you're too slow or, you're not close enough to a pin, make sure you follow us. The Good Life Radio Show at TGL Radio Show, Instagram and Twitter, and the Good Life Radio Show on Facebook. And I will have all of their websites on there as well. So you can see what they do, follow them up, and, get to know us a little bit better. And so finally, how did you get into counseling?
Because
dogs and counseling, I guess, you didn't like being around people that much. You'd rather be around dogs.
All right, so this is interesting. All right, check it out. So I got into counseling because I was trying to find myself. People always say that. And I was breeding dogs, and everything was good, but in my personal life, things were not going how I want them to go as far as finding a mate. A significant other. Had girlfriends here and there, but nothing that I really felt was, next level. And so I didn't like the fact that I would get dirty looks at the bank when I'm depositing money or pulling money out. People would always, the bank tellers would say, what's this business? Bull blood, what's that? And I got to explain it. And I just didn't like the vibe I was getting. Mm-hmm. And then certain girls I was dating, I started to date, like doctors and lawyers and stuff. And when they find out what I did for a living, it kind of turned them off in a way. And it was kind of silly to me, but I thought it was real at the time. I guess I wasn't secure within myself. And I said, man, I can't, she want to bring me home, but she's a doctor and I breed dogs. It just didn't sound like it fit.
Do they know how much that business is worth these days?
I don't know if they knew at the time, but it kind of got to me and it ate at my ego.
You mean you have time to spend with your family?
I
You can
know,
breed dogs.
I
You can
know.
do it all. Oh, imagine that.
Right.
Okay.
Made more money than them too.
Right, exactly.
But so it kind of started to bruise my ego, the dirty looks and the responses I got. So I said, man, you know what? I'm a college graduate. Maybe I'll go and get a job. And so what I did was I took a break from breeding dogs for a year. Was not the best thing for me financially, but I did that. And I went and got a job at River Oaks Hospital. And I started to work with the child and adolescent unit. And I saw that a lot of kids that were coming in, they were troubled because of their life at home. Mm-hmm. And I said, man, the kids are not really the problem. It's the parents, man, that are bringing these kids in the world, and they're not ready, or they're just not setting a good example for them. So then I was talking to somebody at the hospital, and they said, man, why don't you go to grad school and maybe get a degree, a master's degree in counseling? I said, yeah, I'd like to do marriage and family counseling. Mm-hmm. So then I thought about my upbringing. My parents got divorced when I was 11. I love my parents. I think they could have worked through their issues, but they didn't. They wound up throwing in the towel. And so I said, man, I'd like to help people stay together. And if they can't stay together, then, help them work on moving past each other if it came to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to grad school, and that was it. I went to grad school, got my master's degree in 2013 in marriage and family counseling. But I wound up getting back into dogs at the same time, and found my wife right before I even started grad school. So it was cool. So everything worked out.
So you have the best of both worlds.
Yep.
Imagine that.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what the good life is all about.
Yeah.
So we are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we are getting to know the crew. That is Henry Jolly of Bullbutt Corporation, and he is also our counselor, our resident counselor here at The Good Life. So make sure you stay tuned. Ursula Rochon is next of Rochon Inc., the color gallery, and everything that she does, making groceries. Do y'all know what making groceries is? You'll find out when we get right back. Make sure you stay tuned.
Are you satisfied with your current financial position? My name is Kenneth Barnes, President and CEO of KB Enterprises, where we specialize in putting together step-by-step financial action steps for your plan for today and for tomorrow. Whether you're 50 to 85 and need assistance with your final expenses, we have coverage options for every situation. Let us put life back into your finances. Call us today at 504-914-1202. That's 504-914-1202.
Carter Business Development delivers. For businesses to compete, they must have access. Let CBD be your bridge for business development services, radio advertising, social media marketing, brand ambassador, outreach, and access. Contact Carter Business Development at 504-400-7127 or email Eileen@tglradioshow.com. Carter Business Development creates unfolding opportunities. CBD connects the dots from where you are to where you want to be. Join the good life now with Carter Business Development, 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. As quoted, a man who stops advertising to save money is like a man who stops a clock to save time. Let CBD save you time and give you access. Call 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. Take the steps required for access so you can live the good life too with Carter Business Development. That's 504-400-7127.
Gentili Italian Pie is home to the $5 Family Happy Hour. Specials on pizza, wings, and drinks, Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Gentili Italian Pie does fresh for the entire family. Salads, pizza, pasta, wings, and oven-baked sandwiches. Gentili Italian Pie offers lunch and dinner in a new, modern atmosphere surrounded by big screen TVs. Dine in or carry out by calling 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. Relax. Have a drink from the fully stocked bar or beer on tap while your order is made from the freshest ingredients. Gentili Italian Pie, 4706 Paris Avenue, is home where everybody knows your name. So bring the family to Paris and Marabou for the $5 Family Happy Hour, Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's Gentili Italian Pie. Dine in or carry out. 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. You gotta try the pie. That's the original Italian pie, located at Paris and Marabou in Gentili.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
Hi,
I'm Henry Jolly, your relationship expert and nationally certified counselor. Everyone at some point in their life goes through struggles. I am a firm believer that people have the ability to will themselves into good situations, but sometimes they may need some assistance. Being a loving husband, father, and successful businessman while having a passion for the counseling profession has allowed me to gain experience with a variety of these struggles. Let's work together to achieve your individual, family, or marital potential. Come and see me at the New Orleans Growth Center, located at 3712 MacArthur Boulevard on the West Bank in Suite 209. You can reach me at 504-259-8671 or by email, which is henry.jolly@yahoo.com. Thanks for your time, and I'm looking forward to working with you soon.
When I got hit in a car accident, the insurance company tried to give me less than I knew I deserved. I called Maurice Reed Jr. He got me $150,000.
I'm Maurice Reed Jr. If you got hit in a car accident, call me, 488-HELP.
WBOK 1230 AM, the People's Station.
Welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we're here to open your mind.
In a different land.
We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we are living the good life. We are here getting to know our crew. You listen to us every week, but do you really know us? Do you know what drives us, what got us to where we are, and exactly why we do what we do? We got to know a little bit about Henry. We met Henry the Fourth and Ashton. They were our first guests, their first special guest this morning. And now we're about to jump into Ursula Rochon. She is the newest member of Relationship Tuesday. So let's see exactly what she has going on. I know she is Rochon Inc. And can you just break down exactly what Rochon Inc. is? Because there's a couple different components to exactly what that is. So tell me what that is.
Rochon Inc. is something that I started that basically encompasses all of the different hands that I have myself in a bunch of different little aspects in life. I believe it was Warren Buffett that said the average millionaire has 7 sources of income.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
So I'm all about, making sure that there are different streams of income in different aspects of life, and it's all been tied in under Rochon Inc.
So we can find you at www.rochoninc.com.
Absolutely.
And so give us a little bit about, your history. What's your family life like? Man, how many kids?
I have two fabulous kids. One is 9. He is a boy. The other one is 12. Lord have mercy. And she is about to be a teenager, and I can't. I can't.
Is she everything like you?
You know what? My mom was right. My mom was totally. You know how your parents always say, I can't wait till you have kids?
Yes.
She is expensive. She likes expensive things. She has no job. She spends all of her time on her phone, which she feels like she's entitled to do because, of course, she pays the bill. Mm-hmm. She's a teenager.
Right, of course.
You want to know what her first car? What she thinks her first car?
Oh, okay. What's her first car that you're going to buy?
A Bugatti.
Oh, really? Somebody was telling me that's their favorite car today.
I said, spell it.
You spell it, you can have it. Until then, you can't have it.
I'm like, spell it. Spell Bugatti.
And so I know, obviously, you love your own 2 kids and your husband, but how did your love of children then turn into the color gallery? Give us exactly what that looks like.
I spent almost 10 years in luxury retail. High-end luxury retail. So I was with Louis Vuitton. I had a few stores in D.C. Of course, I moved back home. I wanted to be back home. And I found myself in a place where I felt like I was taking from the community instead of giving back. A lot of my clientele was, NBA players or NFL players, and, and that kind of thing. And I would time and time again, I would see young kids, especially black males, come in with this newfound money and no knowledge of self. And they were sitting before me, like, spending $15,000 and $25,000. Like, this is about to make me, this is going to validate my identity. Like, now I'm somebody because I'm spending $15,000. And I realized it was time for me to get out of retail when I started to feel guilty about that. I'm like, wow. I can't do this anymore because this is not going to validate you as a man. And the fact that I'm sitting here and I'm contributing to that, it just makes me part of the problem. So I took my love for art and my love for children, and you have the color gallery.
And so I guess explain your love for art and how that started, and then we'll go kind of back into the color gallery because it brings it both together.
I studied art ever since I was a child. I went to Xavier. I had a full scholarship. Unfortunately, I shouldn't have left, but I did.
So you're smart.
I had an art scholarship, though. I had a full art scholarship. And John Scott told me, he said, Rochon, he said, if you leave, because my grandmother, God, I love her, but she's like, you come from a family of medicine. Art is a hobby. She was like, art.
And if y'all haven't seen Ursula's art, I'm not kidding. You have got to see her art. It is absolutely amazing. How can they find you to see your pieces?
Rochon Inc.
Rochon Inc. Y'all, Rochon Inc. for everything. You have got to see her art.
I mean, go around the city, and if you've been to Katie's, I'm on the side of Katie's. I'm in a bunch of different hotels. I'm in restaurants. I'm in law offices.
Y'all, she's real. Like she is. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know. What was I saying?
We were talking about your love for art and how you
Grandma told you to go to medicine.
Oh, yeah. Grandma told me to go into medicine. So I left my art scholarship at Xavier and went to Tulane in biology. And John Scott told me I was going to be sorry. And this is what I'm going to say. I'm not sorry because my luxury retail background set me up to know how to profit and enterprise in art. Otherwise, I think I'd just be a starving artist.
And how important is that? No, seriously, we talk about that on Mondays all the time. How important is that, knowing the business behind what you do? Because a lot of people just know what they do and not how to run the business.
I don't think people understand when you say, they're like, oh, you're an artist? Like in real life? Like, do you sell it?
Right.
I'm like, well, I don't have a 9-to-5, so I guess I'm doing okay.
Right.
I guess I'm doing all right.
Right. So how did you pull your love of art? Well, not how did you. You pulled your love of art and your psychology background and, that study together to do the color gallery with your love for children.
Right.
So explain to us what the color gallery is, because it's a love of labor.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I noticed an influx in crime returning to New Orleans, and in my opinion, the nature of the criminal has changed. And I attribute that, a lot of it, to Katrina and how the kids have been affected, and the fact that there's been no mental health attention given to our children. I mean, you notice any other major disaster in the world, the first thing they're doing, what? They're dropping down somebody that can talk to you, and they're like, oh, we're going to set up a center, and if anybody has to talk about grief or counseling or whatever. And
that's true.
We didn't get one of those. They were told to deal with it. And they've been dealing with it, and this is how you deal with it. I mean, think about it. Like, crime in the city, we've always had an issue with crime in the city. But realistically, I'm going to say in 95, if I was being carjacked and my kids were in the car, I honestly feel like I could have said, look, my kids are in the car. Can I just get my kids, and you can have the car, my purse, whatever. And they probably would have said, okay, cool. Now they'll shoot you and the kids. It's a completely different mentality. It's a different pattern of violence.
What's crazy is that because we didn't do exactly what you just said, because during Katrina, let's just say first and second graders are now our high school age children who have a mind of their own, and their, hormones are going all over. They're trying to find themselves and understand their world, and we as a community didn't help them
through that grief process.
Yes.
It was a grief process because realistically, a lot of them lost family members. If they didn't lose family members, they watched other people die. If they didn't watch anybody die, they watched something traumatic. They watched, rape, they watched assault, they watched, the type of trauma that you shouldn't see as a child. So when we brought them back and you tell somebody to deal with it, the natural aspect of anybody's mind, you're going to protect yourself. So you become numb to those aspects. Well, you can't just become numb. You can't say, I'm going to become numb to sadness, but I'm cool with happiness. Like, once you're numb, you're numb. So we have a generation of kids that are literally dealing with a post-traumatic stress that we've never dealt with.
So how do you take art and deliver some relief for those children through the color gallery?
Because art is a creative release that, essentially you can get through to any child, even if the child doesn't really want to speak. Or even if they don't know how to communicate their feelings, they can normally do it with colors.
You know what I heard now that you're saying this? I heard a lot of art teachers are sometimes the first ones to know that a child is going through something.
You'd be surprised what comes out on paper.
They'll deliver it in their artwork at school.
I always communicate colors to kids through emotion. Like, I'm saying, well, what color are you feeling right now? Do you feel red? Do you feel blue? Do you feel green? What do you feel like right now? And show me what that looks like on paper. Or if you went through this experience, how did that make you feel? Illustrate it for me so I can see it. And literally, they may start like halfway through saying absolutely nothing, and then like midway through the picture, they're like crying and sobbing, like, oh my God, I can't, and then this happened, and then this, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I knew something was in there. I knew you had to get something out.
And we just like to point our finger and say, oh, that's an angry child, or, you're just disruptive, but we don't realize
I don't even think we say angry kids anymore. We just like to call them bad children.
Or
we like to label kids, or medicate them. We always love to medicate kids. I know. Well, because realistically, you have people that say, oh, well, little Johnny doesn't like to focus, or little Johnny has trouble.
Little Johnny is hungry.
Maybe little Johnny only eats at school.
Right.
Because he doesn't have anything to eat at home. Maybe little Johnny's being abused. Well, guess what? If I'm 15 and I've been abused for the last 5 years, no, I'm not going to focus. But I need to be medicated either.
Right.
So, that's a whole nother topic.
Knowing the Santa Maria and Christopher Columbus really is another top of my list right now.
That's a whole nother topic.
It's just not
over-medicating our kids.
Right. I have to go home and feed my little brother and sister.
Because I have 3 jobs. I have kids like that. I have kids that are homeless.
Wow.
I have kids that literally live on the street. So how do you expect that child to focus on Shakespeare when the only thing they can think about is their safety once they leave the school? Some of these kids, the only safe place or the only safe haven they have is school.
Wow. So now that we're dropping all that, I'm gonna switch a little bit. As we close your segment, give us one of your victories with the color gallery, because I know I've seen them on your social media recently. So we'd like to talk about one of your victories.
One of my most recent students, who is actually a senior, will be attending Xavier in the fall. Yay. I'm very proud of her, so we're looking to see if now she'll get a scholarship.
And I know you went with her to that meeting as well. Not in the meeting, but she went.
I took her to the meeting.
Right. So you don't just, you really connect with the kids.
A lot of these kids call me at like 2 and 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. Because that's, realistically, like, that's when their mind is wandering, and that's when they want to do the things that they shouldn't. I had a call at 2 o'clock in the morning one time, and a kid said, look, Miss Rochon, are you sleeping? And I'm like, well, normally, 34 years old, I would be sleeping at 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, but what do you need? You're calling me at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And he said, somebody disrespected him at school, and his boys went and got him a gun, and he was going to go kill this guy, but as soon as his boys pulled up, he was like, well, what would Miss Rochon do? And I was like, oh, that's kind of like, what would Jesus do? I think makes me kind of cool.
But you know what? Maybe you were sent as an angel. Obviously, you were sent as an angel. No, seriously. God works through us, through people. Open your minds to living differently in the world, y'all. And that's exactly what the Color Gallery does. So how can they get involved with the Color Gallery? Can't they go on Rochon Inc. as well?
You can get to it through Rochon Inc. or thecolorgallery.org.
And it is a nonprofit, so if you would like to go and donate, you can do that online. Y'all, our children are our future, and she works with our kids. You know, she gives them different perspectives, and she gives them, you know, shows them that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So if you're interested in, you know, donating to the Color Gallery or learning just a little bit more about Ursula, make sure you follow her. What's your social media?
Rochon, Urochon, as in Nancy.
Rochon. Make sure you follow her at Rochon Inc, RochonInc.com, because that is a good life. We will be right back with Dr. Brian Turner of the Relationship Tuesday crew. Make sure you stay tuned. This will be fun, y'all. We'll be right back. Carter Business Development delivers. For businesses to compete, they must have access. Let CBD be your bridge. For business development services, radio advertising, social media marketing, brand ambassador, outreach, and access. Contact Carter Business Development at 504-400-7127 or email Eileen@tglradioshow.com. Carter Business Development creates unfolding opportunities. CBD connects the dots from where you are to where you want to be. Join the good life now with Carter Business Development, 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. As quoted, a man who stops advertising to save money is like a man who stops a clock to save time. Let CBD save you time and give you access. Call 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. Take the steps required for access so you can live the good life too with Carter Business Development. That's 504-400-7127.
Hi, I'm Henry Jolly, your relationship expert and nationally certified counselor. Everyone at some point in their life goes through struggles. I am a firm believer that people have the ability to will themselves into good situations, but sometimes they may need some assistance. Being a loving husband, father, and successful businessman while having a passion for the counseling profession has allowed me to gain experience with a variety of these struggles. Let's work together to achieve your individual, family, or marital potential. Come and see me at the New Orleans Growth Center, located at 3712 MacArthur Boulevard on the West Bank in Suite 209. You can reach me at 504-259-8671 or by email, which is henry.jolly@yahoo.com. Thanks for your time, and I'm looking forward to working with you soon.
Gentili Italian Pie is home to the $5 Family Happy Hour. Specials on pizza, wings, and drinks Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Gentili Italian Pie does fresh for the entire family. Salads, pizza, pasta, wings, and oven-baked sandwiches. Gentili Italian Pie offers lunch and dinner in a new, modern atmosphere surrounded by big screen TVs. Dine in or carry out by calling 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. Relax. Have a drink from the fully stocked bar or beer on tap while your order is made from the freshest ingredients. Gentili Italian Pie, 4706 Paris Avenue, is home where everybody knows your name. So bring the family to Paris and Marabou for the $5 Family Happy Hour, Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's Gentili Italian Pie. Dine in or carry out. 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. You gotta try the pie. That's the original Italian pie, located at Paris and Marabou in Gentili.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
Are you satisfied with your current financial position? My name is Kenneth Barnes, President and CEO of KB Enterprises, where we specialize in putting together step-by-step financial action steps for your plan for today and for tomorrow. Whether you're 50 to 85 and need assistance with your final expenses, we have coverage options for every situation. Let us put life back into your finances. Call us today at 504-914-1202. That's 504-914-1202.
When I got hit in a car accident, the insurance company tried to give me less than I knew I deserved. I called Maurice Reed Jr. He got me $150,000.
I'm Maurice Reed Jr. If you got hit in a car accident, call me, 488-HELP.
WBOK 1230 AM, the People's Station.
Welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we're here to open your mind.
Good life. Good life. In a different lane.
We are back on Relationship Tuesday. Get to know the crew. We are getting to know the crew this week, and we have our last crew member, but of course not the least. We have Dr. Brian Turner. He is a clinical psychologist. He is a black psych professor at Xavier University, XU, and he teaches our children. Y'all, there is a common denominator of children on this show and people loving to give back and help. Henry had his twins here. You know, his reason for going back to counseling was he wanted to help families. Rochon. Ursula, you know, gives back to kids, and you do that as well. Don't you, Dr. Turner? You do that with, and look, it's funny, at different levels of, you know, children's lives, like you kind of pass them on to him.
Yes, when I'm done, I'll give it to him.
When you're done, you pass them to him. So we have Dr. Turner in the studio with us. Dr. Turner, how did you get started in psychology? Like, when did you get bitten by the bug? Like, how did that happen?
So I walked into the field of helping people mainly growing up. When I was traversing the city, going to and from school, my biggest questions were, why do I see so many people who seemed competent and capable struggling with everyday decisions and issues and obstacles? And so the fortunate piece of attending a school like Isidore Newman was I was exposed to a lot of different careers and opportunities and people, and I came to understand what mental health and psychology was, and that for the most part, people thought you go see a psychologist when you're crazy, and that's a loose term to describe people who are struggling with daily life stuff. But for the most part, people go see psychologists for everyday things, as Henry said, as Ursula alluded to, relationships, family problems, decision making, in college, just being homesick, you know, and not understanding how to deal with certain processes. So I really settled into the idea of mental health and psychology in really 6th grade.
Really?
Yeah, I was.
You had that many crazy people around? No, I'm just joking.
Well, we live in New Orleans, and all you got to do is go to 2 Mardi Gras and you'll catch it. So, but I think what happened was, I just was in a position. I think as can be said, I grew up without my dad being a formal presence in my home, and I had great older brothers and uncles, and you know, who just really poured into me, and so I kind of used books, and, you know, I was that kind of, until I really got into sports, I was kind of that nerdy kid who just was cool.
You a nerd?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. There's pictures that cannot be displayed in my mother's home.
We're going to find them.
Oh, no.
We're going to find them.
I've destroyed all the pictures. They're all gone. They're in the locked away. No, they're in the locked away safe. She don't know. I went through the house one time, and I cleaned out all of the pictures. But yeah, I accepted it because my mom gave us what we needed. And it wasn't until later in life that I had to pay for what I wanted. But along that path, it just really was thinking, how do I do this? And so, like I said, going to Newman really exposed me to some things, and really found that people who were very competent and capable, just stuff stumps them sometimes. And it really, and I will say, although most people believe that people go into helping professions have their own issues, that just wasn't my case. I was always a happy person. I always enjoyed life.
I don't know about that.
know.
No, I'm just joking.
Well, that's what I say. I keep wondering if there's something I'm missing, but I just always enjoyed helping people, even throughout when I was at Southern, when I was at Jackson State, and even now, like the organizations I'm involved with, some of the other things I do. I can turn down a lot of money because I do well enough with what I do that I don't chase money. And so one of my mottos, one of my mottos to my mentees, and they can probably verbatim give it to you, is do something so well that you wouldn't have to get paid for it because you love it so much, but you do it so well that you get paid well for it. So I really, try to practice that. And so, that was what it was about. And so got to Southern, which was weird because I was the first guy Coach Richardson said ever asked to meet with the department head. So I was like, I need you to bring the department head. You're recruiting me. If you want me, then I want to know what can I do with a degree from Southern. And the department head came with a great conversation. And I actually shout out to one of my mentors, Dr. Reginald Rackley. Still, he's now the department head at Southern in Baton Rouge. And we stay in contact, but he really put me on a good path. And actually, I started working for State Farm. Mm-hmm. He actually called me one day and said, "Hey, you gonna go back to school?" And I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm working, making my $35,000 a year. State Farm. I'm single, no kids. I'm good." He's like, "Nah, you're going back to school." And so I went back to school, and that was probably one of the best decisions I ever made in terms of leaving State Farm and taking my career and my life in my own hands.
So when you did that, what made you choose the psychology profession? Did people always kind of come to you with their problems, or were you just, because you're a very easy person to talk to?
I can't, students come to my office and they'll say, "Doc, I think I want to be a clinical psychologist because all my friends come to their problems." I don't remember that. For me, I remember just being that person that was a good friend. And another mentor of mine actually told us we were having a really interesting evening, a bunch of us, and we were drinking and we were in grad school talking about research. And he says, "You know what, man, y'all gonna be good. Y'all gonna be great." It was like, "Where'd that come from?" He's like, "Cause he's like, the best people make the best psychologists."
You're a great listener.
Thank you. And so he kind of put that out there. And so what I've noticed is across friends that have gone through the program and that I've met through other places, I find the best people, like they're the most caring people. They love you. They care for you. They're authentic. They're intentional. And so I try to practice those things. So even people that I have fallen outs with, I can email them phone numbers or information they want. People who I think they know they did me wrong, I let it slide and they can still ask me for help. And I keep it moving. I can't block my blessings. So I've always been that person. I'm going to do what I got to do. And if me and you fall out, I'm still going to do what I have to do.
I'm learning forgiveness, so I appreciate that. I appreciate that you say that and that you exude it. Ursula and I are learning that right now. But you know what?
It's not always easy.
No. Yeah. Well, time out. I don't want to go sideways, but I don't think it's something that you don't even know that you didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's like the number one thing. And when you were talking about that on Friday's show, I was like, I didn't even realize I wasn't even doing it. Yeah. I didn't even realize that I wasn't even conscious of it.
But that's also why I have a 100-pound heavy bag in my playroom so that I can hit it.
Oh.
Yeah. So that helps to be able to hit the heavy bag.
But you know what? Speaking of not even knowing that things exist and deflecting them, we had a conversation a week ago or maybe a week and a half ago about why, especially people in our community, deflect and don't like to acknowledge that we have issues or need to have conversations, or honestly, they really just don't even come up. Yeah. And we just act like it's just something we can do without.
Yeah.
Why is that such an issue? I think for all of us, but we specifically see it in our community so much.
I give two sides to this, and actually it's pretty interesting conversation. Actually, I'm gonna start a research project this summer looking at mental health in the black community and college campuses. So we're going to do some significant work to try to dig into that, right? And that's one because I had a good conversation a couple weeks ago in an organizational setting where we do not integrate cultural competency into a lot of our helping professions training programs, whether it be medical, mental health, pharmacy, you name it, law. There's just a lot of professions where working with people who are culturally different is not ingrained in the programs and what students and professionals are taught. So even though I have MD, a PhD, or a law D, a JD, there's not a lot of conversations. And some programs do it, so I'm not going to say all, but vastly a lot of programs assume that you're just here to get this service, and that's all that matters. The flip side of that is, once again, specifically in our community, is that there have been a lot of hurts and pains at the hands of these professions. So when you have a history of being denied access to legal rights, denied access to medicine that works, denied access, or you've been ostracized because you're black and you have a mental health issue, when you don't get appropriate treatments just because you're black or Latino or Asian, then it's a two-sided kind of coin of, I'm not going to seek help from these people because they keep making me seem crazy. And if the professionals are not being taught to be culturally sensitive, then we're going to continue to clash. And I don't blame either side, but at some point we all have to work together. And I feel I kind of stand in that gap because, and I don't wear my earrings as much, but I remember when I first kind of finished grad school, and now most times, and I would show up to do therapy in a button down and slacks or jeans, earrings, and a lot of times younger people would feel very comfortable with that because I was not off-putting. You know, I didn't appear to be. I mean, honestly, people say you don't look like Sigmund Freud. They would expect the older. But
once you open your mouth, you do. I love it.
So it's like, you don't look like Sigmund Freud. You make me feel comfortable. And that was interesting and intriguing because, once again, it's the presentation of a solution that it's, yes, it does matter the box it comes in. It does matter the presentation. And what I found was that we have to ensure that when people get help, it's in a way that they want to get help.
What I enjoy about you when, we have listeners call in or people have issues or, a lot of times they send us stuff from Facebook and, and y'all, honestly, that's how, sometimes we ask our questions is, send us information through our social media. We will definitely respond to it, is that you meet the person presenting the question where they are. And that's so very important rather than, coming from maybe a judgmental point of view, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, having not lived in New Orleans for about 20 years and having to do therapy and work in communities where, if I talk like this, I sound real different. And so I realized that you got to let people be them. And that's where you start to find people will accept what changes need to be. My joke oftentimes is that clinical psychologists and mental health professionals, the job of that individual is, in effect, to get people to do what they say they want to do, but they don't want to do it. I say I want a better relationship, but I want to keep dating the same person. I say I want a different relationship with family, but I'm not going to set boundaries. I say I want to change how I feel about myself, but I'm not going to engage in the things that will actually change that. So, definitely it's like, well, if you want to, be happy, then what makes you happy? Well, I want to do this. Okay, well, what's stopping you? Well, let's figure out what's stopping you. And then you can't have any more boundaries. You can't have any barriers stopping you. So, I think that's the other part of it, is that I don't have any reason to judge anybody. Who am I? So
I think you're kind of cool, so we'll keep you around.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it.
So if somebody wanted to follow you, if they wanted to get some information, or if their child is going to Xavier, please make sure you take his Black Psych class. I'm not kidding. You'd be like, you're Dr. Turner. Yes, he is. Make sure your child takes his class.
So Dr. Turner is available, limited therapy, because I'm not really doing individual
But
work
we're working on that, aren't we?
Yeah, this summer's supposed to be some changes in and around that. And like Ursula said, though, I make my hustle. So that's the other thing that growing up in New Orleans teaches you. I got like a couple of different things I do. So if you really want to see me, if you want to bring me out, you can always hit me up on Facebook, because that's where everybody is. But my webpage is drturnerspeaks.wordpress.com. You can see the work I'm doing in terms of research. You can actually request me. I actually have a team of consultants that we actually will come out and do talks. We can put together programs for you. And then my clinical work is there as well. So that's drturnerspeaks.wordpress.
And we're going to put that on our social media as well, drturnerspeaks.wordpress.
Yeah, I have to say, I don't do it necessarily for the money, but if you got money, I'll do it. So, you can.
You have to pay energy, too.
I do energy, Sprint, Then I got, other responsibilities and things I want to do. So, you can reach me any way you can, and I'll help out. So.
Thank you, Dr. Turner. We appreciate that. Y'all, we are getting to know our co-hosts this week. It's been really exciting. You know, I'm learning things about them as well as you, but I think it makes the good life exactly what it is. It redefines us. We're opening each other's minds to living differently in the world. We learned about Kenneth and Telly yesterday. We learned about Henry, Ursula, and Brian today. We'll be learning about everybody on every day. And Friday, OT will be interviewing me. This will be very interesting. I have never been on the other side of the coin, so I'm a little bit nervous, but we will see. That's what the good life is all about. Opening your mind to living differently in the world. Redefine yourself and exactly what that looks like. And we're out.
Aye.